Steve, Claire, tell us a little bit about your business.
Well, we're a pest control company. We've been running for about 22 years. It started off as just a one-man band, and then Gary bought the company over about 10 years ago. From there, the company's basically skyrocketed. We've moved up, we've got more guys on the road. We started with 1, 2, 3. Now we've got about 7 on us at the moment, and we've won Pest Manager of the Year 2 years in a row.
Wow, it sounds like your business is going incredibly well.
Definitely.
So can you tell us a little bit about some of the challenges that you're having then?
Well, I guess from the system perspective side of things, our CRM system is, I guess, built for bookings, but it's not very effective on the mobile side. I guess what my job is to make sure the technicians are running smoothly throughout the day. So going from each particular property, doing the pest control service there as well. What we use is what we call run sheets. So we basically print off like the runs for the next day. My job in the afternoon is to actually send that to all the technicians, and it will show the next day. So basically, if I don't send that, or something gets missed, or the emails are down, or the system is down, the guys have absolutely no idea where they're going, which is obviously going to affect our major focus, which is customer experience from what we actually do.
Wow. It sounds like this is a really critical system for the business.
Absolutely.
It runs day to day. Without it, we'd be lost, basically.
Well, perhaps what I'm hearing is that a major challenge that you're having at the moment is having information available to people in the field, and also being able to update it in other times, and rather than when you're at the desk. It's about what time's convenient for you. So firstly, perhaps think about considering a mobile CRM, something that's optimized to work for you on your mobile. So for example, if a customer calls in or emails you in an evening and tells you that there's a change needed for the appointments the next day, you can actually make that change on your way home that night and not have to come back in. It also means that the technicians have the latest information when they're out in the field and meeting a customer. They can immediately update it after the event rather than waiting till the end of the day. So it sounds like the current system that you have, there's a lot of data moving around, that's creating some reliability issues.
Absolutely.
So perhaps secondly, the thing that I could suggest is using a cloud-based CRM where all the information is in one place. Now it's a shared system and you're using the same system potentially as 100,000 other people, so it's highly reliable. It also means the information is there available for you on those mobile devices that the technicians use. And when you make a change, like a reschedule, Steve, when there's a problem with a technician, the latest information is immediately available to people in the field.
Yeah, we're constantly trying to challenge ourselves to make a more productive day. So basically, the more time that they're actually doing jobs, the more productivity we get, the more profit we get in the long run, and et cetera, et cetera, et cetera. Also the less expenses. So we're trying to get a system that will actually combine all that and will make life easier in the office as well for the guys in the office, that it's basically it figures out the best option and then goes from there.
Well, the nice thing about a lot of cloud-based systems like Salesforce.com is that they come with an ecosystem of applications that can help you for these types of specific functions. So there's functions specifically for scheduling that actually help with that organising of the day and working out the best milk run, perhaps, to get the technicians around to the right person at the right time. One of the important things to note, though, is that they need to have the latest information when they get to site, and if something changes on site, they need to be able to make that immediately. So the mobile device and having the ability to update that information right there and then is critical for that information being high quality as well. When we think about the different lead sources that you have, one of the advantages of using a CRM is that all of those different lead sources are coming into one place. So after the fact, as business closed, you're able to track right from that lead source to close and understand not just what's generating leads in the door, but what types of sources are actually generating revenue for the business.
Do you mind if I ask a question on that? That's what we are trying to track. Our director's putting a lot of time and effort into, Yellow Pages and Google and different avenues where we can obviously bring customers into us. Our major struggle right now is that the CRM system we have doesn't actually give us any reporting. So we're manually having to do it. We've got a sheet of paper where we're sort of just ticking where the customers are actually coming from, and we're asking those questions when they ring us up, whether they're previous customers or customers that have seen us elsewhere. So every day, that's a big chore from my side too, having to send those sheets to the director sort of 12:30 at midday, so he knows how everything's tracking, and then in the afternoon. So having that sheet, making sure that it's correct is imperative. But what would make our life easier and less time consuming with more paperwork would be actually having that in the actual CRM system. So when a customer does call through, we can just tick a box and then print out a report at the end of the day. That's what we've been focusing on, but the systems that we've been looking at for a small business, obviously money-wise, we need to make the smartest decision too. So a lot of the systems we've been looking at are around like the 25, 27K mark. For a small business, that's just a little bit too expensive for obviously what we've budgeted for.
Well, let's think about the first thing that you mentioned. It's importantly that's a CRM that you consider has integration with your website. And using different tracking codes, you're able to find that information through the leads that are coming through without having to rekey it. And so that'll make you a lot more productive. You should be able to get that reporting without having to do the double entry, as a lot of your information now is coming from digital. Having that information around what's bringing value to the business is really important to understanding where you're going to invest next. So I think that's critical. In terms of the guys in the field, what are they telling you are some of the challenges that they're having?
Well, obviously traffic's probably the biggest thing. If anyone knows Sydney well enough, you know that it's not the greatest place to drive. So they always have those little stresses like that. I think they deal with it every day, so they're obviously probably better than the normal Joe Blow or something out there that gets used to it. But that's probably one challenge. You never know, a car could have an accident, they could be stuck in traffic for half an hour, which makes them late for their customer half an hour. And our guys take such pride in being on time.
So one of the things that you mentioned before in the preparation of a lot of these things the day before, so that sort of everything's pre-prepared, it's hard to allow for those changes that happen through the day. So I think using a system that's mobile and where the technicians are able to make changes themselves in the field means that if there's something go wrong and a technician's not able to make the appointment, because your CRM is available on the phone, you can easily reassign that, and the next technician can pick up from where they left off. That's what we mean by like a single view of the customer. Everyone kind of shares that view. So if one person drops off, then another can pick it up and keep running with it. So CRM is vital for maintaining that customer experience throughout that process, despite Sydney traffic.
Can't avoid that one, unfortunately. So Derek, I guess sort of our main question would be, how do we get started implementing all of this? Our phones are still ringing and we're still having to make bookings, so putting things on hold is a concern. So how would you suggest that we actually start implementing this into the business?
So the three things that you mentioned is that you need to get people in the right place at the right time. You need to have that sort of single source of truth of information, and it needs to be available mobile and in the field. So the advantage of using a cloud-based CRM system is that it's pay as you go. So you can start by paying for a per user per month, and as the business grows, the cost grows accordingly. So it's matched to the business success. In terms of those solutions, a solution that's mobile, it's immediately available. There's nothing to install. There's no hardware or infrastructure. So that means that all the technicians and Nuclear have that one point to update information and share, and it's immediately available. I'd look at using a plug-in from that CRM system to allow you to do routing and scheduling, specific to businesses like yours in pest control. And thirdly, we talked about the importance of understanding where your investment is going and making sure that right from when a customer first contacts you guys, through to a lead, through to actual closed sale, you're tracking where that information has come from and what the investment is, so you can place your bets in the right places. So that means that you're really setting yourselves up to invest in the future as the business grows in the right place. So they're the three things that I'd recommend.
Great. Excellent. That's really helpful. Thanks, Derek.